Hey y'all, this is Lydia. I've been tapping into the eclipse energy, and the eclipse perfects at 16 degrees of Taurus at around 5 a.m. Central Time, I do believe, and it's going to be dead on Uranus and Taurus at 16 degrees of Taurus. And this energy is heavily about surrendering to the creations that want to come through us. And this isn't just about what we want for ourselves on a conscious level. This is also dealing with soul contracts we made before we incarnated on this planet that we were going to accomplish in this life and the creations that our soul wanted to pull through in this life. It's getting to that really intense go time point. And what I mean by that is there's this energy of separation that's taking place with this eclipse where an old life is ending so that a new life can begin. And for some, this can be very jarring. For some, it can be very intense, very potent and obvious that there is a chapter or a cycle closing out in a very powerful, intense way so that a new one can come in. And it's might be very challenging in the moment, but at the same time, it's very powerful when we're being asked to see the wisdom behind perhaps the circumstances we're finding ourselves in or the situations that we're finding ourselves in. We're being asked very strongly, one, to stay in that high light. Uranus is a very expansive breakthrough energy. And one way that it does that is by breaking down what is no longer serving us. So that's where that separation is coming in, where the old life, this old way of creating, this old way of being, this old way of even pulling things toward ourselves and attracting the things that we need in order to navigate our lives and to thrive in our lives. There's this energy of it's coming in on a whole new level. So whatever isn't serving that is breaking away so that we can begin this new chapter on a whole new level, because there's been new beginning energy for a while now, but this feels like crunch time. This feels like it's almost faded, and maybe not even almost. This it is a very faded energy. And one thing the divine has been very clear on is, as we're going through these breakdowns to break through, as we're going through this separation from an old life to begin a new life, it's very important to stay out of victim mentality. It's very important to stay out of negativity and to, again, see the wisdom behind our experiences, because our creative potential is very heightened right now. We're talking about this faded energy of having to surrender to the creations that want to come through us and really having no choice but to let go of the things that are breaking out of our lives and pulling away and sort of disintegrating on one hand. But on the other hand, we can also feel like a resolution energy, and that could be nice, of things coming full circle and perhaps even having to hold those two together in the same at the same time. Intense challenge with intense beautiful breakthrough. And I really encourage people to really tap into being able to see the beauty in our challenges, because again, our creative potential is very heightened right now, but this is also showing us how much we've grown, how much we've expanded. And this eclipse is 3 degrees away from the nodes. The nodes are at 13 degrees right now. And that 3 degree is a Sagittarius rule degree, dealing with expansion, dealing with higher wisdom and higher knowledge, and really learning a new way of being in the world and a new way of navigating our internal landscapes, and a new life, literally a new life and a new chapter coming in a way we perhaps haven't seen yet. And this new beginning energy has been coming through for a very long time, but at the same time, this one's different. It feels very potent, and it feels that it's very important right now for us to stay really focused on what we want for ourselves. And again, to surrender to those things that just won't leave us alone, surrendering to those things that are out of our control, where it's very clear that it's breaking something down and breaking something away because it's time to begin something new. And to allow those new energies to wash us over, and allow those new energies to really rejuvenate us and give us a sense of renewal, so that we can find that strength and tap into that energetic space where we feel expansive and we feel like we are capable of bringing in this new cycle and this new life. So to round this off, I am going to pull from the well-known Alchemy deck. At the bottom, we have the Raven's Head, just to really stress that faded point, that faded energy, this energy of things coming in that our souls promised we would do and we would go through. And it's definitely, on one hand as well, an energy of preparation. It's very strongly, I'm feeling, especially in my own life, this energy of it's time. It's time and you're ready. So let's get a little look from the cards and see what the cards have to say. Ash. And ash is very, very powdery. It's light. It can coat everything. And there's also an energy of fire, which there is that transformation aspect, especially with so much Scorpio activated. And this is dealing with, and every time I pull this card, I get very strongly this phoenix energy of things being burned away. But the beauty of the ash card, it's like it's already burned away. And it's already, come to this point where the fire is starting to die down and the embers are beginning to cool. And there's this light powdery sort of energy of levity, of if the wind were to blow, it would cast up the dust into the air, cast up the ash into the air. It's not heavy at all. And perhaps that's what's coming through too. It's this energy of heaviness being burned away. And one dimension we can look at whatever challenges we may be going through at this time is can be this lightness that can be tapped into it. It's almost like the situations, the circumstances we might be going through are very hard, very heavy, perhaps even sad or devastating, but there's still this ability to see the beauty in it. There's still this lightness that can be tapped into it when we are able to recognize the wisdom of what is transpiring, which is this clearing that's taking place so that we can really take what we're meant to create in this life to the next level. And this isn't necessarily physical things as well. This is very much our intuition, our internal landscape, how we feel. And I've noticed too in my own experience, it's not new relationships coming in, it's a renewal of the relationships I already have. And this energy too of those relationships being elevated because of the changes I've been going through and the fears I've been able to transmute and the wisdom I've been able to integrate has brought my relationships to a whole new level that has allowed me to be far more vulnerable than I've ever been and to feel safe in that in my entire life. So let's pull one more, the void. And I'm feeling this too. It's like it's go time, but we're being prepared. And the more space we can give this energy and give this transition, the better. And to, again, get into this new tier, this new level. And part of that is really honoring the void and really understanding when it's time to take action and when it's time to be more in a state of stillness and perhaps even that yin energy and that more receptive energy of, okay, it's not time to take action, it's time to allow for now. And that goes back to the eclipse being at 16 degrees of Taurus. That 16 is a Pisces rule degree dealing with surrender and dealing with also a boundless creativity that is coming through in ways that perhaps our intellect cannot understand, but our bodies are feeling it. Our feelings are really showing us what's coming through, and we might not be able to put it into words, but we can feel what it is. And one more. Sanguis, blood, that's vitality, that's life force. And a life force is awakening. It's almost like there's an electricity, which is very Uranian, an electricity in this card that is igniting a life force energy. And pay attention to your inspired ideas right now. Pay attention to where your dreams are taking you, and even pay attention to dreams. Now would be a good time to be dream journaling. We have Mars square Neptune and Jupiter, which is another severing energy. Mars cuts, it severs, and it's severing away perhaps even old ways of what we thought creativity was, so that we can get really into what we're actually capable of creating for ourselves in this life. And it's, again, not limited to physical things. It's very much involving our understanding of who we are and the self. Chiron is also in Aries, and the moon already crossed Chiron, I believe, but as it's coming up and building up to this eclipse, there's this strong energy of really getting to the nitty-gritty of who we are becoming and feeling that very deeply. And again, even if we can't put words to it. And at the bottom of the deck, we have copper, which is a Venusian energy. Venus is opposed this eclipse with Mercury and the sun. And Venus is also creation. It is the dispositor of the North Node, the dispositor of Uranus. And being in Scorpio, it's cutting out whatever we should not be opening ourselves up to. And really this energy of protection too, and protecting ourselves from opening up to things that aren't meant for us, and really setting those boundaries, and perhaps even providing an energetic definition to who we are, how we feel, and what we want to pull through and what we want to bring in. And that's opening up in beautiful ways too. So definitely be, paying attention to your inspired ideas, and don't get caught up in victim mentality and limitation, or even any sort of negativity, or I can't see how I'm going to get there. If you feel yourself going into that projection space of, this feels too big, I don't know how I'm going to get there, pull back and get back to the present moment for relief. The present moment, and not trying to get into what ifs or hows, is how you'll bring yourself back to center. And the more people who can be centered and really focused on what they want to see for themselves in the world right now, the better. Because our creative potential is wide open, and it feels like a very intense, fateful energy. So this is a very beautiful energy too. Just as a side download I'm getting off this card, it's copper gets this beautiful patina over time, and as it ages, it gets this, these beautiful blues and green colors, and it's pointing to the beauty of also the deep-seated nature of relationships, and going through the tough spots in order to get into something deeper. And the challenges we can be going through this time can definitely be cracking us open in that way, so that we can see the beauty in getting through challenges with another. And for me, it was my sweet boy Donovan. He passed a couple days ago. And for others, it could be physical relationships, like with other people, and just really seeing the beauty and the depth that can come from going through a lot of different things with another soul. So I hope this message resonates. I'm sending love and wishing you well. Bye.